"Thank you for submitting your anonymous yearbook quote," the editor told me over email. When I opened my yearbook at lunch 3 months later, my name was right there next to a quote that was obviously about my crush, and everyone in the cafeteria was reading it. Back in February, the yearbook committee sent out an email asking seniors to submit quotes for a special section celebrating our class. There was a checkbox at the bottom that said, "Submit anonymously," and I checked it without thinking twice. I wrote something about how my crush Natalie shines so bright, and she doesn't even realize the effect she has on others, and how lucky I felt to have spent 4 years watching someone become the person they were meant to be. It was sappy, and I meant every word of it. I hit submit and forgot about it. Then 3 months later, yearbook distribution day arrived, and the entire senior class crammed into the cafeteria during lunch to pick up our copies. Everyone ripped into them immediately, flipping through pages and signing each other's books. I grabbed mine and started browsing through the candid photos when my best friend Logan looked over my shoulder at the quotes section. His eyes went wide, and he grabbed my arm hard enough to bruise it. "Dude, you need to see this right now," Logan whispered, flipping my yearbook to page 73. There it was in the senior quotes section. My exact quote printed with my full name underneath it like a headline on a newspaper article. Not anonymous, not even close to anonymous. My stomach dropped through the floor. "How did this happen?" "I checked the anonymous box. I swear I checked it," I said, my voice climbing higher with each word. Jake didn't answer because he was staring across the cafeteria where Natalie sat with her friends, all of them cracking open their own yearbooks. I watched in slow motion as she flipped through the pages, laughing at photos and pointing things out to the girls around her. She hadn't reached the quotes section yet. I had maybe 2 minutes before my entire high school existence ended. "Maybe nobody will read the quotes," Logan offered. As if the universe heard him and wanted to prove him wrong, somebody 3 tables over shouted, "Oh my God, you guys have to read these quotes. Some of them are insane." The cafeteria erupted with the sound of pages turning. Everyone started reading out loud, laughing at the funny ones and groaning at the serious ones. My hands went numb. I tried to close my yearbook, but Logan stopped me. "Don't draw attention to yourself. Just act normal," he hissed. Normal, right. I sat there trying to look casual, while my heart tried to escape through my throat. 2 girls at the table next to us found the quotes section and started reading through them. They were getting closer to mine alphabetically. Then, one of Natalie's friends gasped and smacked her arm. "Wait, listen to this one about you." She read my quote out loud, and then checked the name. "No way, that quiet guy from calculus wrote this?" She pointed directly at me. I wanted to sink through my chair and disappear into the foundation of the building. Natalie's eyes scanned the page, and I watched her face change as she read my quote. Then she looked up, and her eyes found mine across the crowded cafeteria. The blood drained from my face. Half the cafeteria had gone quiet, watching this play out like we were characters in a movie. Natalie stood up from her table, yearbook in hand, and I knew she was either going to yell at me or laugh at me in front of everyone. As she walked toward our table, my brain screamed at me to run, but my legs wouldn't move. She stopped right in front of me, and I prepared myself for the worst moment of my life. "Can I talk to you outside?" she asked, her voice quieter than I'd ever heard it. I nodded because I couldn't form words. We walked out of the cafeteria together while 300 people watched us leave. The door closed behind us, and we stood in the empty hallway. Natalie opened her yearbook to the quotes section, but not to my quote. She flipped 2 pages back and pointed to an anonymous quote I hadn't noticed before. It was about someone who sat in the back of every class, but somehow made her want to be better just by being there. Someone whose quiet presence made her feel calm and protected. No name was printed underneath it. "That's mine," Natalie said. I checked the anonymous box, and it actually worked for me. "Wait, you wrote that about me?" I asked. Natalie smiled and said, "I've been waiting all year for you to notice me, and apparently you have been too."